Yeah, this video is probably going to be one of my most difficult. I hope people will listen from beginning to end because I'm going to explain why a certain individual called Tarlochan, who says he's a Sikh, who I believe is now not a Sikh. He may have been brought into a Sikh family. I'll explain why I've come to this conclusion, and it's through 6, 7 months of observing and watching and hearing what he says. This is the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and this is one of my drawings that I did recently. And this is his children, all of whom who were martyred under the Mughal rule for their faith, and that's Anandpur Sahib, the Gurudwara that's been in tribute to them. The reason I'm showing this is because I want to say thanks for the over 1,000 subscribers. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, I thought I'd barely scrape 50, and so I really appreciate that. I'm gonna say a special thank you to Sarah Lipper. Big up Sarah Lipper. She's the one that told me. I didn't even check my my subscriber. I thought it was at like 40 or 500 or something. So I was a bit shocked. So she told me. And you can say here's another one of Guru Gobind Singh Ji again, the 10th Guru, who I believe is so instrumental to what defines Sikhs today. Even though I don't classify myself as a Guru Sikh, which is a baptized Sikh, I have a lot of flaws that if I was a Sikh, I would be like him, but I'm not. I'm nowhere near there. I've got a lot of anger. Remember his own father, which is here. That's him as a baby. Next to the Gurudwara that he was born at. It was the Gurudwara was there. It was called Patna Sahib, and that's his mum, Mata Gujri. And that was Guru Tegh Bahadur, who was executed for his faith as well, for defending Hindu. So you can see how much sacrifice this man, everyone in this picture, apart from his wife, died under Mughal rule, and including his father. And he forgave and he moved on. And I wish I could have that compassion, but unfortunately, at this precise moment in my life, I still have a lot of ego and anger and things that I can't control at the moment. And I hope I can at one day. And a lot of people are going to say what I'm going to say is next is slanderous about the Tarlochan, but it's not. And the reason why I'll explain that, all of this is in the public domain. So I'm just going to say what I knew and what I heard and what he had told people. But I've refrained from saying it publicly because I thought, all right, I don't want to defame a man because I still wanted to give him a chance. Now, some people like my sister and stuff told me from day one when she first saw him in November that he's not a Sikh, he's an undercover agent or something, or he's a Muslim or whatever. And now the reason I'm going to agree with her now is because the things I've heard about him and the things he defends and the things he doesn't speak out against shows me that he has a dual. Either he's a Sikh and he's got a Sufi or something like that. I do know, and I want to say this. This is not slander on him. He's married to a Muslim woman who's a Sunni, and so half of his family is Muslim, and so he's been married for a long time. So I think he has been influenced from that particular side, which I don't blame him. So he has dual kind of. He loves his wife, so he has dual what I call kind of loyalties, and so he I think has swayed away and is more of a Sufi Muslim rather than a Sikh. And I'm going to kind of show the hypocrisy of the Tarlochan. Before I go on, so here's me. Yeah, so thanks again for the 1,000 subscribers. Really appreciate that. I'm going to fight the good fight. I may do it wrong sometimes, and I'll apologize for that. Sometimes I'm impassioned, and I apologize for that. But when it comes to certain issues, like one issue, I separate the Muslim community into two sections. When it comes to the grooming, I am inflexible. I know for 30, 40 years is what's been going on, but then it hit my doorstep 10 years ago. And then it was reality. I will not change my mind on that. I will support Tommy Robinson because of that, because he was one of the only people that was speaking up 10 years ago. I will, however, adjust my views when it comes to Islam and certain beliefs that I had before about terrorism and stuff. So if someone educates me, I can adjust my beliefs. But when it comes to grooming, I'm as tough as nails. I'm not moving, no matter what anyone says. So I'm going to show you what happens. I started going speaker school now 7 months ago in September, or maybe longer than that. It feels like ages. And in November, a certain individual, yeah, turned up to the park, and his name was. Let me find. I've got so many thingies here. Yeah. So here's the thingy. So you can see it says Sikhs angered. Yeah. Ali Darwan Sikh visitor. This was in November 2000, November 13, 2000. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Maybe the guy has a valid point. I did come across in the beginning as very agitated and said a few things. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And for the last 7 months, I was talking to him. I gave him a privilege. People are going to find this funny, but I gave him the privilege of letting him phone me for half an hour to an hour a week, which I don't give to anyone else. Yeah, apart from Hassan. Now, so big up Hassan. He's got that privilege now, but at least I get something in return for Hassan because Hassan is loyal as anything. So thanks to Hassan. And I know Hassan's going to be upset for me doing this video because he's normally very good at kind of telling me what not to do, but this is something I feel I have to do. I'll may regret it later, but I'm doing it. So Hassan, I appreciate your advice, but let me just do what I've got to do. Anyway, big up Hassan. And so he come here, and you can see Ali Dawa is in ecstasy. Yeah, the fact that he's got a Sikh. And you see the silly thing here, and you see all the comments. Real Sikh comes to the park. Real Sikh comes to the park. Real Sikh comes to call out thingy, Raj. Yeah, it come on to, which is strange, it come on to another channel, Let's Unite the Haqq. So Muslims were absolutely ecstatic. Speaker's Corner Sikh comes down to refute Raj with Ali Dawa, yeah? You can see, if you look at his beard, just have a look at the beard. I'm going to say something. When a Sikh, yeah, has a bit long beard like this, I very rarely see them cut the moustache. Look at the moustache. This is one reason I think he is a Sufi, because in Islam you can grow the beard, but you cut the moustache or you trim it off totally. And this is not, I've never seen Sikhs do this in that particular way. Very rarely they'll have the whole thing trimmed or the thingy. So me, I trim my whole beard, and I know that's wrong. But this is a very Muslim style. Now, what I'm going to say here is that, you know, he says a few things, and I want to show you first, before he says it, his behavior on Sunday. Now, on Sunday, I decided beforehand, I thought, if Tarlochan comes and he's polite, even though he's backstabbed me and he's done everything, talks to me nicely behind the scenes, and then backstabs me in groups, that I will at least be civil, because I thought, I'll be the bigger man. I have the philosophy of keep your enemies closer, your friends close and your enemies closer, and Tarlochan was going to be like a Siamese twin to me, like literally right next to me. But this is what happens, if you have a look.
I'm going to apologise again, yeah? I'm on mute. For what? I'm on mute. For the death threats that you've been getting. Like, you reckon they're just doing that?
Sorry about the fan.
I should apologise for what?
For obviously the public perception of you being an arsehole.
What do I need to apologise for?
I don't know, like, it was a bigger man than you, but sort of like saying, you know
Answer
what?
my question. You're asking me to apologise.
I'm just trying to explain, obviously, the way you got I'm saying, it was going to be, he was a big man. He apologised to you for what
I've got a fan of us.
Was he lying?
My fan is huge.
Well, brother,
What should I apologise for?
you went around, okay, making those claims. You made those claims to Raj. Raj only.
Yeah, he said he was a cokehead.
I critique his behaviour.
You can't tell it, and he's a cokehead. I'm sorry, I'd take that. I'd say he's a cokehead because he's told me numerous
Then
times.
he goes on the comment section saying, no.
No, yeah. I'm following this guy, like.
Only reason I said that he's not a cokehead is because I thought, let me be the bigger man, but he is a cokehead.
I was there. I said twice sorry.
I critique your behaviour at the park. I don't talk about none of your personal life.
But you mentioned it.
He's dehydrated.
Fucking fan pigeon.
Can I say something?
Why are you speaking for the fucking pigeon?
I'm not gonna.
Why are you speaking for the fucking pigeon? He's over 40 years old. Why can't you speak for yourself? You're a big man. Why can't you speak? You fucking tramp.
I've given certain people so many chances. Certain people think I'm playing here with me, yeah? All nicey. But in front of the camera, he's a totally different person. So I'm not entertaining that individual.
So Fuddo means prick. Puddi means pussy.
I was right.
So yeah, listen to this fan. I'm so sorry, man. This fan is going mad. I've got to chuck some thingies down. It's gonna blow up. And so you have this situation here, and this is the first encounter I had with him. So you can see I could not negotiate with the guy, talk to the guy. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because he's completely beyond the pale. He's a nasty individual, and I think any Sikhs that go to the park, need to be extremely wary of this guy because he has an ulterior motive. I originally thought he was genuinely trying to, and he is funny guy, so his humor can really win you around sometimes. But he's a nasty individual, real sick. Yeah. So if you look at this, where is it? Yeah. So this is the thing. Yeah. You have a situation. I don't know where it's gone. Yeah. So look at this. Yeah. Ali Darwa very rarely puts up videos of Speaker's Corner on his main channel. He lets Saeed, his little kind of side, sorry Saeed, but your little side man and his little kind of like Ali Diva, I'll call him Ali Diva. So listen to this, yeah? Well, listen to this.
And they might find it very odd extremist Sikhs or whatever they may be, yeah? One of them who comes to this park, yeah? For example, so from your point of view as a Sikh, where does it stand with you and your religion and the gurus about preaching hate or joining individuals, be it extremist Muslims or non-Muslims, when it comes to preaching hate?
So I'm going to tell you for that, the first good night they've done, yeah?
Yeah.
He's the foundation, the bedrock of Sikhi, yeah?
Yeah.
Sikhi stems from him. And he's our enlightener.
Okay.
He's our guru, our spiritual enlightener. And he tells us clearly in what we have something called the Mool Mantra, yeah? Which is a root mantra.
What does that mean?
Root mantra is something that it's an opening verse. And it is something that we should live by. It's rules that we should live by. And describe
Is it like the commandments? Similar.
No, it says the truth existed before time, it exists now when time started, and the truth will always be around. Also says clearly in it, no fear, no hate. Yeah, so we need to live by this rule, no fear, no hate.
Yeah.
So if you hate,
Yeah.
you're no longer Sikh.
Yeah.
You're outside of the fold of what our faith teaches us, our pathway.
Okay, so you can hear that. If you hate, you're no longer a Sikh. You can see that video of him hating hard. Now, what happened after that particular video that I saw, I went to the park and we had a conversation like in McDonald's for 3 hours. We agreed to not talk openly, so we didn't give entertainment to Ali Dar on them because they were trying to kind of cause a fight between two Sikhs, who I assumed he was Sikh at the time. And so I was like, all right, let's not give them the food here because there's only two Sikhs then. It would be embarrassing if we fight each other, like, you know, arguing. Because I'm a very hothead, he's a hothead. And you saw what happened when we did get into a little argument, and it just went kaput now. Now, you know, we said things and we can never go back. Now, what happened was that for months, you know, I'd be talking to him on the phone, but when I saw him in Speaker's Corner, because he's drugged up, yeah, a lot of times on coke, and he's, you know, like drinking at the park. I mean, there's times that, you know, he took me around to the corner and he had a bottle of whiskey in his bag and he was drinking, trying to get me to drink. You know, this is why I don't hang around with Sikhs sometimes, because I'm sick and tired of the alcohol problem. Like, I don't want to drink, man, so stop trying to force me. And so he's walking around drunk a lot, so he's unpredictable, or he's on coke or whatever he is. So I then, a couple of weeks later, he would go and try and follow me with a crowd of Muslims to try and antagonize me. This is one time it happened on January 24th, and it's happened before as well, but listen to this.
Communicate like a normal human being. He's my brother, he's my brother.
Sorry, I got my cap on one of the very few times. I wasn't going to Speaker's Corner that day, but I decided to go. So I walked off, yeah? Did you see? I'm a puddi. And everyone's laughing, look. All the Muslims are laughing. Loving it. And even this guy that called me Trump, loving it. Look. He's wearing that weird hat as well. Yeah, look. Look at this guy with that woolly hat on. Yeah, so he said fuddo everything. Yeah. So I walked away with a bigger man because I didn't want to start the argument. And people said, oh, I was a coward. And I walked away. But I walked away. And thanks for, look at COE. He's really great to me sometimes. Big up COE. Raj walks away from quarrel. Look, what a nice title, man. And people think I own COE, but I don't. So I walked away. Yeah. So he did it again. I walked away next time. So for months and months, I kept on walking away. Every time he did it, I walked away being a bigger man. Until that particular day when he jumped in. Now, one thing I'm going to really talk about now is one of the main reasons why I do not think he's a Sikh. One of the issues, even when people strongly dislike me, this is a drawing I've done about grooming, and even when Sikhs strongly dislike me, they agree with one thing. There is a grooming problem within the Sikh community by Muslim grooming gangs. As you can see on this side, the perpetrators are, I'm sorry, but that's what they look like. You can hate it or like it, and these are the people that are trying to defend them. And these are our Sikh girls, and the Sikh girls here that, you know, I'll say you know, I dislike humanity, so, but I love my people still, yeah. I know it sounds like I'm a hypocrite, but I do not want my sisters or any of the other girls in the UK to be raped by these monsters, you know, just because they're kuffars or they see them as lesser or immoral. And so, one thing that all Sikhs know is that there has been a grooming epidemic. Now, just to prove this, that Sikhs know, this is a BBC documentary from 1998. Yeah, listen, this is a Sikh guy. Oh, that freaking Sikh guy. So this documentary, I'm gonna go over this properly in one day. Yeah, it's from 1988, I think, and it's talking about how Sikhs formed the Sher Punjab to defeat grooming gangs, and they kicked some freaking ass, thank God. Unfortunately, my Sikh brothers went to prison. Now this is the Sher Punjab logo, the original, yeah, and although I wasn't part of it in terms of the what I call the kind of like what they were doing, I did do the design, and I knew a lot of the guys, the main, like the London guys, and a lot of them went prison for this, yeah, which is a disgrace. This is why I get so pissed off. I know people that went prison for beating these monsters up, and they would have went the ones that went prison for defending girls that were being raped. Can you believe that? Men that should have been given medals, yeah, and seen as heroes were villains and locked up for doing what the police and everyone should have done. Now this is where Tarlochan, I know, goes out of the fold, because he's the only Sikh I've ever met that does this. Now, the first time, now I'm going to show you what happened on Sunday first, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. Now just give me a second so I can find the spot. Let's have a look. Don't know where the hell it's gone. Oh yeah. So now, one thing I said, because I'm sick and tired of the grooming epidemic. This is why I support Tommy Robinson and why I'm sick. So I'm telling these guys to stop grooming.
Bro, stop grooming, and we might not say anything. Yeah, you and your people stop grooming, man. Stop grooming, we may not say nothing. Your people are grooming, man. You need to stop it.
Yeah, right, if you cared about children being abused, were you protesting outside the BBC? Yeah. With all of those fucking football hooligans protesting outside the BBC? No, they weren't, because Jimmy Savile was not a Muslim.
So they're going to get one random Sikh, and they're going to say, oh, all Sikhs are...
Did you see that, yeah? He could have just shut his mouth and said nothing, like some of the other Sikhs do, because they don't want to get too involved, but they don't critique me and the fact that I'm standing up for the grooming. You may not like me, but when it comes to this particular issue, shut your mouth if you're a Sikh. If a Sikh comes down to the park, and I'm talking about grooming of our girls, and you start chatting, yeah, you're going to get the wrath of me. I'm telling you that straight now. I won't care who you are. You do not say that this is not a problem. Because then for me, you're going against not just me, but the girls that have been raped, my cousin and everybody. And for me, that's a complete no-no. This is why I've disowned this guy and say he's not Sikh anymore. And I will not treat him in any way in that way. I gave him a bit of leeway because I thought, all right, let me try and see what he's like. And he is beyond anything. Now, here's the situation where, like, this isn't the first time he's done this. So just to prove, yeah, he's done it before as well. So if you go over, where is it? I need to go here. So 335, I think it is. Now here's another video of Tarlochan going into a situation when he knows I'm outnumbered and goes against me with Ali Dawa and the Muslims. So watch. This is another one, look. Look, he jumped in because he knew Ali Dawa was there. This was in April.
Listen, yeah, I'm gonna say my words carefully, yeah, because
So I say about the grooming here.
with hate preachers, haters per se. Let's talk about haters per se. I don't want to skirt around the issue. Don't go around the houses. I want to go straight in. I'm not playing games here.
I've spoken to you before here. I've experienced things that you never would experience. I've experienced my own relatives.
Are you going to justify hate?
Hold on. How can you expect me here to just sit back, yeah, and watch a group of people that are raping a particular community and saying that my own relative
There is no homogenized.
So you can see, yeah, he does not even acknowledge this is happening. He will not acknowledge it. He will just go, and this is not a Sikh then. Because he is not acknowledging a massive problem that most Sikhs, nearly all Sikhs agree upon. They may hate me, they may dislike me, but don't tell me that there is no issue with grooming. Now, once again, yeah, he does it again. So these are just on camera stuff. So when you go to, where is it? I call it the being surrounded by savages on this one. Where is it? There it is. So if you go to 2325. Now, hopefully this is the bit where Deep is talking, and I'm trying to say Deep, yeah, is mocking Sikh. Now, before I go on, Deep has apologized profusely to me, and he's a 19-year-old boy. Boys make mistakes. I accepted his apology, off camera, because if I feel like he's genuinely apologizing and he says it in a way that is doesn't have any kind of like, oh, but if, I'll accept the apology. So I shook his hand and I've moved on. But I still need to talk about the Lochan's behaviour according to Deep. Because when Deep was mocking my cousin, he never defended me. Yeah? He always went to Deep. I saw him so many times holding Deep, getting Deep, bringing Deep over to me to antagonise me. And even though he knew I didn't like him. And so what he would do, if you listen here, look.
He went to the police to snitch. The snitch went to the police. He went to the police. And he's talking about my cousin, said my cousin got savaged and raped.
You know what, Raj? You know what, Raj? What you do, yeah, is clash of personalities. You talk nothing about issues. All you do is personality clash. You fucking, was it ad hominem? Whatever that word is? Ad hominem. Well, yeah, that word.
So, look, he didn't go, Deep is wrong. He shouldn't have said what he said. He just goes, Raj, you're just like going ad hominem. And so he's never ever defended Sikh girls. He just goes there defending Muslims only. What about our people? Yeah, I'm there to highlight an issue. And I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I don't care if you're going to cry. I don't care if you're going, oh, you're going to cause division. Stop raping girls, yeah? Stop it. Yeah, otherwise, things here are just going to escalate and get worse. I'm not making any threats, so anyone say I am. I'm saying things are going to get worse. You need to tackle the problem. And it's Sikhs, like so-called Sikhs, who are, in my opinion, not really Sikh, that are hiding it and brushing things under the carpet. Yeah, because they don't want to kind of like, expose their masters, yeah, because he's an actual Uncle Muhammad. Yeah, they call me an Uncle Tom, he's an Uncle Muhammad. Yeah, and then you go over to... so again, 3130.
Obviously not, but sorry, but you should use any means. Let me rephrase that. I would use any means within my own morality. So your morality could be killing Muslims though. No, that's all going to affect them. Your morality could affect the person of your I've never ever called for any harm to anybody. You don't have to call for harm. No.
Oh, no, what's going on here? Hold on. Oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah. So here's me saying Muslims are doing grooming.
One minute. When you demoralize Muslims daily, when you come down to the park and make it seem like they're all supporting molesting gang.
I didn't say they all support though. But you need to deal with your community.
What you do is
So I said they are. Look at him. He's supporting these guys, that, I'm not even acknowledging there's a problem, man. They're saying there's nothing. Now, obviously, I tried to be civil, and when it came to yesterday, I tried, and you remember the time, like, last week, where he come up to me, and then, after we had that encounter with the savages, and he was like, please, come on, let's talk, and then this is what happened. Obviously, does this seem like a normal, sober person, or does this look like a cokehead to you? Yeah? And he does do coke, there's no doubt about it in my head, because he's told me so many good times, yeah? And one of the things he does, he talks about something called Bani. Bani is the scriptures of the Sikhs. It's for any scriptures, it's is something that, you know, we respect highly. But when you're drunk and you're doing coke and all that kind of stuff, and you're talking about this openly, you have no right to talk about something like this when you're in that condition. Be sober first. Whatever I am, yeah, whatever you think I am, I'm sober as anything. Yeah, I haven't drank for 6 years, not a drop. And even this guy tried to force me to drink. He's like, oh, have a drink.
Alright, first,
So if you have a look, he goes,
first things first, we're going to get two gentlemen to apologise for each
free.
other.
So I apologise, remember? I don't want to go over it too much. But look at this behaviour. Is this the behaviour of someone who doesn't have no hate?
He's trying to, like, antagonise me.
I'm not trying to antagonise you. You'll know about it. If I try to antagonise, you'll know about it.
We're in a civil discussion.
Yeah, civil. Let's keep it civil.
I'm going to be the bigger man and say that, look, when people come up to you...
Do you want to do an MMA fight?
When people come up to you and keep saying you're not a Sikh...
Do you want to do a Sikh MMA fight?
Yeah, can you see that?
You're making a derogatory remark against somebody. Although I don't...
And then obviously he did the old, which I thought was quite hilarious. It just showed how crazy he really is. I personally think because of his marriage, I'm going personal, that he's married to a Muslim woman, that he has a dual, he's been influenced a lot. And I can understand you love your wife and stuff. But when you're going against certain principles of what I say is affecting our community, the grooming situation should not be something that you go against. You should support.
Okay, you're done now. You apologise.
Yeah, maybe not my message, but at least don't
I want to tell
interfere.
the camera that I do not apologise. I do not apologise. What I say, what
So how can you trust a man like this? That says off camera, let's go and talk this out and talk, and then says sorry, talks on the phone all day to me, oh, Raj, oh this, I love your artwork, blah, 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 your thing, you're a nice guy. And then as soon as he comes onto the camera, he's like this, coked out of his head, drunk, womanizing. I mean, I'm going to say something that one of the things that I really have always found disgusting about this guy in particular is that he's womanizing ways. Remember, he's married. One of the things he does in front of everyone, even on this day here, he had a white woman, a group of white women that he was going out with him, and he was about to go somewhere, and he was like all over her and everything, yeah? And the thing is, that's not slanderous. All of these people were there and they saw it. And I've been with him so many times when he's walking down the road. Remember, lust here is something that you must control in Sikhism to become a Sikh as well. He does something that he's done in front of so many people, and anyone that knows him knows he does this. He goes up to a woman if she's wearing tight clothing, like tight jeans or leggings or something, and he will say, thank you for wearing that. Yeah, looking at her ass and saying, thank you for wearing that. What a sick, perverted thing to do. And for me, when I wore my dastar and my pug, yeah, and I would sit, a pug is a turban, and I'm standing with him and he does this, it's so embarrassing. Like, I just want to put my head in the sand. And so he does this all the time. He's got a vulgar mouth as well. I mean, even ask Muslims at the park here, they used to like him. A lot of them don't like him now because he is just vulgar. Like the amount of sick, depraved stuff that come out of this guy's mouth is beyond me. Yeah, I still am shocked. Yeah, that a man can speak that vulgar. Now everyone's gonna say, "Oh, I'm slandering him." No, this is no slandering, man. This is no slandering because at the end of the day, I gave the man a chance, and what he has done is just thrown it in my face 50 times, 100 times. I've walked away. I've even like bit my tongue, and people saying you're a coward for walking away. Yeah. And then, you know, obviously we had the situation where, you know, this is obviously the first time I ever heard of him. And I was like, all right, let me give him a chance. And as you can see here again, he says the word 420. And if just listen to the way he's talking, yeah. This is from November.
Religion, go in and kill innocent people, and then you know what happens? You know, we have.
Sorry about the fan.
These individuals who go and do this, we call them, like, for example, Khawarij, yeah? Khawarij is what the Prophet said. These guys cause more harm to us than anyone else. You know why? Because they look like us. And
Look at the difference in
speak
his
like
bed.
us, and then they do.
And he's
stuff
telling me I'm not a
nowadays.
Sikh and I'm not this. He's bald as well. He doesn't even wear up the star.
And that's the way you feel when Raj might come and.
Yeah, I don't want people now to start thinking because of his hateful things he says and the way he goes on.
That every Sikh is like that.
Yeah, man.
Same look.
I can't. It's my duty. We say farz, yeah?
Yeah.
Or farz.
Yeah.
But it's my duty. I can't stand by and watch injustice.
Yeah.
Why we keep
Exactly.
I can't stand by and watch injustice.
Exactly.
So injustice. Your girls, yeah, are being raped around the UK. Do you understand? And you're standing around moaning about me. instead of like dealing with the perpetrators, yeah, why don't you just shut your mouth, yeah, if you've got nothing constructive to say, instead of belittling me. When I'm talking about grooming, any Sikhs coming my way, yeah, I don't care who you are. Yeah, when I'm talking about grooming, yeah, if you start trying to contradict me, saying there's not a problem, you are my enemy straight away. Yeah, this is not a laughing matter. This is deadly serious with real life consequences, as you can see here, with people going to prison. Yeah, the Sikh brothers going to prison because of these guys not being able to control themselves. Yeah, and then you have pricks like this, sorry about my language, that are going around going, oh, there's not a problem, oh, it's fine, because his wife's a Muslim. Everybody, all Muslims are now free from any kind of responsibility for looking after the community. Yeah, so I'm sick and tired of his hypocrisy, and you can see towards the end when he goes, Ali Dawa was so happy when he found this guy, but what he didn't realize, he is the worst representation of a Sikh. Not for him, because they love him because he's a buffoon. What you call a buffoon, a Sikh that walks around drunk and cursing and swearing and agreeing with the Muslim masters and going, we're all brothers, we love each other. And because I'm the opposite of that, Ali Dawa hates me. You cannot influence me like that. Yeah, I'm not going to have this. A lot of Punjabis come up to me and go, oh, we're Punjabi. I don't care if you're Punjabi. If your ideology is opposed to what I believe, we only have a genetic connection. Other than that, we're nothing. Yeah, we have no connection. And so you hear here, this was in November, where he goes,
He's going to make his blood boil, isn't it?
yeah, against again,
He's
hate.
going to get the high blood pressure and all that. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, because your blood pumps, when you hate, and you're passionate, and your hate is so passionate, your blood pressure goes up. It's not healthy, exactly. It's not healthy, it's unhealthy. So I'd rather you carry on doing
Look at that, more banana, less hate. Embarrassing.
Have a banana, don't hate.
Yeah. That's it. Don't hate, have a banana instead. It's good for you.
Say yes to potassium.
Yeah, exactly. And I just
No
want
to hate.
Yeah. See, thank
Here we go.
you very much, fella.
So obviously, they see him as a joke, and they just see him as somebody that you can just like make fun of. Sorry, one of my drawings just fell down. And he's talking about hate, to not hate, and to not hate, and to not hate, obviously. And then you have this absolute train wreck of a thingy where he's going on about not hating. But have a look at this, 39.
Why should I be learning from this? Why? He's not right. I cannot communicate.
And he called me a Sikh devil. Sikh devil. Does that seem like a rational person?
You can coo them. You can coo like pigeons.
So he's calling me a pigeon?
Pigeons coo, they don't speak.
I'm not going to go down the route here or personal attack.
Oh, you're not going to do personal attack. You're not going to do personal attack.
We've got to do a G-circle.
Yeah, so cooing.
Nobody's going to make me change my mind. Also, if you hate me, I don't care. I love to see people, but I don't like people in general.
Nobody hates him. No one hates him. We pity him. Pity and hate is different. We pity you. We pity you. No one hates you. You hate most. And you don't represent Sikhs. You represent Hindus. 100%. You represent Hindus. You're okay. We'll do everything.
So have a look at that year, and I'm going to be stopping soon, so don't worry. But if you look at this year, 2019, 2009, this is why I hate this dude so much. Listen to this. Whatever you think of it, I never talk about Sikh philology because I'm not a person that I think is a good representation of Sikhs. So until I am, then I'll talk about it. See, the real Sikhi. Yeah. I wear my turban, only time is in that video, and I think one other time that I've not worn a turban. Look how many times this guy has not worn a pug. Barney, scriptures. The guy is a drunk and a cokehead, a misogynist, someone with massive problems, and he's talking about Barney. Now listen to how respect, yeah.
How much Barney do you know? How much
Some Barney, yeah? So he doesn't know what he's saying, so we can't condemn him. But they're making fun like, oh, Barney, 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 yeah? And so it's a disgrace. It's like, why would you talk about something like that when you're not qualified as somebody to talk about it? And even here, you can see this man, yeah, has reversed. French, not my turban off here, but watch the Lochan. Sorry, 18.
We ain't scared of no one saying nigger or calling a monkey. That's not racism. Racism. Let's breathe. Can I get an apology?
So instead of saying, oh, it's wrong for threatening to knock my turban, he says, I provoke people. Alright, maybe I do provoke people. Oh, no, I do sometimes, yeah, I'm a flawed individual. But to knock my turban off, no man's doing that. You're going to have to kill me. Any man comes down to that park, anywhere in the street, anywhere, you're going to have to kill me. Yeah, and if anyone doesn't believe me, I've been in a jail cell, yeah, like custody overnight for someone knocking my turban off. Yeah, I'm not going to say what happened, but let's just say I spent the night in the custody. I may be a peaceful man, but no one's touching my turban or doing anything to my family. Yeah, that's where I draw the line. And so this guy, I'm going to end the video because, you know, there's so much evidence I've got against this guy. But what I want to kind of end it on, you know, I want to try and go on a good note, like, you know, show some of my other Sikh artwork. So obviously, there's a guy on the comments. If you ever see him, he's called Hari Singh Nalawal. I think he's probably a troll. Hari Singh Nalawal is one of the greatest ever generals. This is my drawing of him with Maharaja Ranjit Singh. And you are no Sikh because the stuff that you have written on there is a disgrace. Yeah, so I'm sick and tired of the kind of like, you know, bullshit from these so-called troll accounts of real Sikhs. And so we have people like this, Baba Deep Singh, one of the greatest ever generals or thingy for Sikhi, yeah? He would never put up with like our girls being raped and stuff. This is the guy that kind of pushed back the Mughal army from destroying the Golden Temple. So for me, obviously, I am not, like I said, I'm not a good representation of Sikh. I wish I was. I wish I was like Bhagavad Jagdaj Singh and all from basics of Sikh. People still talk about the park. You know, when you follow the faith like perfectly, it's a beautiful thing, yeah. That we have a great mixture of the warrior saint concept. And obviously, the epitome of this is the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And for me, I want to be like him. I always said that, you know, this is somebody I want to try and emulate. But I'm far, far from it. But one thing I'm not going to accept from any person, like I said in the video, is so-called Sikhs coming in like Tarlochan, who I do not believe is a Sikh. Like I said, he's married to a Muslim woman. I think that has influenced him. And that has made him more into a Sufi. He's never, ever challenged anything from Muslims. Find me one video of him challenging Muslims on their behavior, on their violence, on their intimidation, or on the grooming epidemic. No, instead he condemns me when we talk about this, when I'm trying to bring up an issue. He has never defended me, even with Deep, yeah, like I said, I've got an issue with now, but even with him, I would see him going up to him, talking to him, and like, when Deep's in the crowd, he will defend him over me, even though he knows that he's condoning these guys, yeah, the groomers, against our guys. And so when he's ridiculing my cousin, he's ridiculing all the Sikh girls, all the girls that have been raped from all over the UK, whether they're white or whatever, by these Muslim grooming gangs. And so what I want to say is, like, you know, if anyone comes to the park, do not prejudge me by what you see on the video. But you shouldn't judge the Tarlochan from what you see in the video. He's actually even worse in real life. His persona on camera is trying to be a jovial, funny guy. But he's not. He's a nasty piece of work who my sister said from day one, never trust that man. But I never trust anyone, luckily. And I never kind of like let him too close into my circle because I would not let him anywhere near my family. I remember once he said, oh, well, let's come around. I never let him anywhere near my family. Wouldn't trust him with anyone. You know, for me, he's a danger to the Sikh community. Yeah, he is somebody that is an appeaser, somebody that is a traitor, and somebody that should be, in my opinion, you can ostracize me, fair enough, I've never claimed to be a Sikh, but when you go to that park saying you are a Sikh, the good representation of Sikhs, that you don't hate, but you have the most hateful personality, and you go around kind of going up to women and behaving in a disgraceful manner, embarrassing me at the same time because I wear a bugger or a turban, and then they associate me with you. That's unacceptable. To all the people on here, all the Muslim haters and stuff like that, stop your community doing this shit. Yeah, this is what they look like. And otherwise, things are just not gonna go too well. And I'm saying that, that's no threat. I'm just saying things will just escalate, and people will just start getting more and more angry in their heart. And that's all I'm gonna say. I know it was a long video, but I had to do this. I will do another videos about the grooming epidemic and the history from my point of view, because I know quite a lot about it. And so I'll leave it at that. Anyway. Thanks again for the 1,000 subscribers, and I'll keep exposing these Islamic sympathizers, extremists, Islamic extremist sympathizers. Not all Muslims are extremists, and the grooming gang sympathizers, like Tarlochan. He has no sympathy for Sikh women. Yeah, nothing. I've never heard a single word from him about our poor girls. Nothing. All he does, Raj, you're a hate preacher. Nah, I don't spew hate, I spew truth. Some of it can be seen as hate if you do not accept the facts. But the facts are there's a problem, and you've got to sort it out. Anyway, I'm going to be off. I need to do a few drawings and stuff. It's been a nightmare in terms of my artwork and stuff, but I'm going to finish off my drawing of the free speech, and I've got other stuff to do as well. Anyway, take care.